In the previous video, we are dealt with the meaning of the terms which are related to dermatophytosis. And in this video, we'll discuss some interesting things related to dermatophytosis, and then we will discuss the etiology of the disease, then history of the name ringworm, and the habitat of the pathogens. When it comes to dermatophytosis, this is the disease, fungal disease caused by the molds, and those are nothing but the dermatophytes. And these molds have an affinity to infect keratinized epidermal structures such as skin, hair, feathers, horns, hooves, claws, and nails. If you look at these tissues, you will get an interesting things to note is these all tissues are composed richly with the protein called keratin. So, in the previous video, we named these dermatophytes as keratinophilic fungi, which mean these fungi have a tendency to infect the keratin-rich tissues of the body. So this is an important thing which you must know. And here we have given an example for the tissues which are rich with the keratin. This is the layer of the skin, and this is this cross-sectional view of the hair. When it comes to the layer of the skin, technically the skin layers are classified as the bottom layer is hypodermis, which is below the dermis, and uppermost layer is epidermis, which is above the dermis. And again in the epidermis, there are 5 layers. From bottom to top, they are as stratum basale, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidium, and stratum corneum. When we say keratin, the keratin is richly deposited in the stratum corneum. Stratum corneum is nothing but is a outermost layer of skin epidermis. So in other words, keratinized layer is nothing but it is a layer of stratum corneum. So this is where the fungus will invade and infect. Now let us look at the hair. When we cut the shaft of the hair into a cross-sectional view, we will see central medulla, outer cuticle, and in between them there is a cortex which is densely composed of fibers. And these fibers are arranged as macrofibril composed of microfibril, and these microfibrils are made up of intermediate filaments. And these filaments are nothing but the keratin molecules. In this image also you can notice the outer cuticle, then the cortex which is composed of macrofibril, microfibril, and keratin. So the thing is that these fungus has tendency to affect and invade keratin. So the structures which are richly composed with the keratin have high tendency to get infected. Now let us look at some other important things related to this dermatophytosis. The pathogens are modified themselves as the obligate parasites, and they are contagious and genetic source for human being. Now let us look at the history of the word ringworm. In the previous video, we have discussed why the name ring is given. This is because the organisms have tendency to grow equally in all directions, giving a circular form lesion. Therefore, it is called as ring. But the word worm is named, which is because in the ancient Roman people, they believed that this dermatophytosis disease is associated with the insects or worm, and they named it as tinea, which is a small insect. They believe that there is a worm which is crawling under the skin, under this skin lesion. A worm is moving in circle, giving a circular shape. So because of their belief, the clinical name for dermatophytosis is given as ringworm. Now let us discuss about the habitat of the pathogens. Basically, these are classified as geophilic, zoophilic, and anthropophilic. The word philic indicate something which has affinity towards or loving. Those pathogens which prefer soil as a medium for their growth and are called as geophilic pathogens. A very important example you must remember for exams is Microsporum gypsum is an geophilic pathogen. So this picture depicts the Microsporum gypsum. This is the culture media. Now, after geophilic, the next one is zoophilic and anthropophilic. Anthropophilic are those pathogens which prefer to live in human body. So this is not concern for us. Now, for veterinary importance, we are more focused on zoophilic dermatophytes, and those are as named here: Trichophyton, Mintagrophytes, Trichophyton viricosum, Trichophyton gallinae, Trichophyton equinum, and Microsporum canis, Microsporum nanum. Basically, the two genus, the one is Trichophyton, another one is Microsporum, belongs to zoophilic pathogens, and they respectively affect all domestic animals, cattle and sheep by varicosum. Gallinae will affect fowl, equinum horse, canine both dogs and cat, and sometimes horse also. Nanum, which affect swine and human keratinized epidermal tissues. So this is for today's video. And in the next video, we will discuss some other things such as morphology, pathogenesis, clinical signs, their treatment, and prevention and control. Thank you.